This world is a conglomeration of all of us. Why is it we're listening to the idiots who yell the loudest and fight the most? Why the fuck are we letting them create the world and acting like they're the ones with the power? My beautiful friends, we are the ones with the power. Those of us who desire something different, those of us who desire to create a world that actually has a sense of communion and connection, gentleness, kindness, contribution, ease, joy, glory, which is exuberant expression and abundance. We're the ones with the power, my friend. Are you willing to actually acknowledge that? Hey everybody, this is Dr. Dane. Welcome to this installment of the Tour of Consciousness from my bedroom at the castle in Castel Borgone, Italy, baby. I'm going to just back up, hopefully without falling off the little balcony here. Hello, beautiful. Right? I mean, really? I mean, blurry? Okay, there. Oh my goodness, yeah, there's my ear. And blur. And now beauty. Blur. Oh, iPhone, you're wonderful. Gotta love the iPhone 13. I'm telling you, it's just amazing. Wow. First of all, travel. Wow, new thing. Very exciting. And also, I just gotta say, there's a very interesting thing with traveling nowadays because, oh, goodness, I love my background. Because so many people, at this time are sort of, in freak out mode about travel. But I gotta say, one of the tools we have in Access, who does this belong to? And sometimes you're like, who the hell does this belong to? Or who the f does this belong to? Well, now's a really good time. If you're thinking about traveling somewhere, please ask, who does this belong to? Now more than ever, this tool is so friggin' dynamic. I can't begin to tell you how helpful and how effective it can be if you purge your head of everybody else's crap. And there's a lot of crap, okay? Let's just acknowledge there's a lot of crap going on in the world right now. Okay, fine, but you know what? You got a choice. You can either follow the world or you can create the world and lead the world. What choice are you making? Now, here's the other thing. No judgment either way. Because I know there are days where I found myself buried in a pile of crap and I was like, ah! And I have tools, okay? So please know, no wrongness here. It's just to recognize that you have a different choice, okay? So who does this belong to? Please, I've got an entire playlist on YouTube for who does this belong to. Please go check it out if you haven't already. It literally was one of the things that helped me heal from depression and suicidal thoughts 20 plus years ago. Thank goodness for that, because I'm still here and I'm still kicking. So there. Another thing I want to talk to you about is the awareness that your point of view creates your reality. Reality does not create your point of view. And one of the things we have in Access is the clearing statement, as a lot of you know. If you don't, go to theclearingstatement.com and I explain it there. But my point of view is it's basically the biggest upgrade in personal development since we have had personal development. So there. And what the clearing statement allows you to do is when you realize you have a limited point of view, rather than going into judging you and, oh my God, I'm doing it again or whatever, you just go, everything that allows it to exist, I destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys and beyonds, or everything that is, destroy and uncreate. Destroy the structure. Uncreate, meaning take your creative energy out of creating crap and create roses instead. Use it as fertilizer. And then pock and pod. The superheroes of consciousness. And so for some of you, this is a reminder. For some of you who've never heard of this before, it's an acknowledgement that there is a way in the world available right now to change the yuck, stuck, and what the fuck that a lot of us have experienced, especially over the last 2 years. And if you actually use it, if you actually do this stuff, man, the sky isn't even the limit for what you can choose, what you can be, where you can go. And so just wanted to give you a couple of those reminders. I mean, like, I just arrived here, flew all night, had about 2 hours of sleep. It's, I think, 8:30 in the morning right now. It's getting later the more I create. And it's like, you know, and my point of view was I was tired, and then I went, everything that is, destroy and uncreate it, POC and POD. And I was like, oh, I did that about 3 or 4 times. I'm like, oh, I'm not so tired right now. And it's such an interesting thing to recognize that literally your point of view about reality is what creates the reality that shows up. And that should give us freedom. It actually does give us freedom if we're willing to have it. And the recognition that if I've got something that is yucky showing up, there's some point of view I have that's allowing it to be yucky, or that's allowing it to show up like this. And then, okay, everything that is, destroy and uncreate all that, POC and POD. And so one of the other questions you can ask is, what points of view do I have here that are creating this? POC and POD. Whose points of view are those? Who did I buy those from and when? Everything that is, destroy and uncreate all that, POC and POD. Or destroy and uncreate all that, right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, POC and POD. I say POD and POC when I'm saying the whole clearing statement. I say POC and POD when I'm saying POC and POD alone, because POD and POC seems to roll better than POC and POD when you're going right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds, rather than right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. Although they sort of work, POC does a little kink in the thing, and so I do POD and POC. So there, now you know. And it works either way. But for me, it's so, it's such a wonderful thing to recognize that we can change shit now. And you don't have to suffer the world. You can either follow the world in its insanity, or you can lead it out of insanity. What is your choice? And here's the other beautiful part about this, okay? Because a lot of times I'll let people know they have choice, and then they judge themselves when they don't seem to be choosing from choice. They're like, I have choice? Okay, then I'm wrong for not being perfect in my choice. No. See, and here's the other beautiful thing that opens up from this is, so if I say that thing, hey, you can either follow the world into its insanity, or you can lead the world out of insanity, and you go, I want to be the leader. Cool. Then, but if you recognize, what a lot of people will do is go, well, I'm just not a leader, or they'll recognize that they haven't been functioning from that, and then they go into judgment of them. That's not the point. If you realize you haven't been functioning from that, if there's something else you would like to function from, then go, everything that doesn't allow me to be that, destroy and uncreate it, POC and POD. Everything that doesn't allow me to know it's possible and to know that I can be that too, destroy and uncreate all that, POC and POD. Everything that doesn't allow me to actually look forward to that, to actually enjoy that, to actually get the gift of that and be the gift of that, destroy and uncreate it, right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. Everything that doesn't allow you to see, to perceive, to know, to receive, and to be the gift that you are, or quickly perceive, know, be, and receive, and see the gift you are, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. And then from there, like, let's just take a moment. What would you like to contribute to the world? In other words, what would you like the world to be if it were up to you, if you were God and you could choose anything? Ponder that for just a moment. What would you like it to be? Okay, now everything that doesn't allow you to perceive, know, be, and receive that, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Times a godzillion, right, wrong, good, bad, all 9, POD, POC, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And now, if you're starting to begin to perceive that, now, a couple questions for you then. What is it that you can be that would allow you to add that to the world? Everything that doesn't allow that, will you destroy and uncreate all that, please? Times a godzillion, right, wrong, good, bad, all 9, POD, POC, shorts, boys, and beyonds. One more time, what is it you can be that would allow you to add that to the world, or that would allow you to contribute to creating that as our world? This world is a conglomeration of all of us. Why is it we're listening to the idiots who yell the loudest and fight the most? Why the fuck are we letting them create the world and acting like they're the ones with the power. My beautiful friends, we are the ones with the power. Those of us who desire something different, those of us who desire to create a world that actually has a sense of communion and connection, gentleness, kindness, contribution, ease, joy, glory, which is exuberant expression and abundance. We're the ones with the power, my friend. Are you willing to actually acknowledge that and stop buying the lie that the asshole, judgmental, separationist, warmongering idiots actually have the power? Everything that is times a godzillion. We destroy and uncreate it, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And by the way, when I said idiot at the end of that sentence, that was not a judgment. That was an acknowledgement. Sometimes you got to acknowledge what is. A lot of you also have the point of view that if you see that somebody is selfish, if you see somebody is judgmental, if you see that somebody is an asshole, choosing to be an asshole, let's say, you think you're judging them. Well, here's the deal. That's maybe an acknowledgement. You want to ask, is this a judgment or is it an acknowledgement of where this person is choosing to function? Because if you do, then you'll allow yourself to have the awareness of where people are limiting others and being limited themselves without a judgment of it, without like that's right or that's wrong. Just an acknowledgement of it sets you free. The other interesting part is it actually sets them free. Because those of us that desire a kinder, greater world think if we just see only positive things, then it will create that's what we'll create in the world. Bullshit. No, if you only look at the positive and are not willing to see where somebody is mean and abusive, without judgment, once again, not a judgment, an awareness, if you're not willing to see that, they're gonna walk all over you. They're gonna stomp on your head and tell you you're wrong, and you'll be like, oh my God, you're right, I'm wrong. And I was judging, oh my God. No, you weren't judging, you were aware. Acknowledge your awareness, even if it is where somebody is functioning from a highly limited point of view. And recognize you are not wrong. And guess what? They are not wrong either. They're just choosing to be what they're choosing to be. And you make yourself the effect of it by not acknowledging where they're choosing to be. Everything that is times a godzillion, destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Well, my beautiful friends, I apparently have a lot to say. It has been a long time, and I seriously, for the last several weeks, I just have not wanted to be in front of a camera. I'm like, I'm hunkering down. I am molting, you know. I am the caterpillar in its cocoon, and I have a sense of my wings finally starting to sprout again, and they are larger and more wonderful than ever before. So that's another thing. How many of you have been hunkering down and thinking you're wrong, like not wanting to engage, even on Zoom, not wanting to talk to people, not wanting to respond to emails, not wanting to get back to your creations? What if that's not wrong? One of the other ways of using the clearing statement is everywhere I've decided I'm wrong and everything I'm doing to make myself wrong, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So many things, so many possibilities, so little time to talk about them. So it's been a bit of a long one already. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope if the content hasn't quite been everything you hoped, I'm hoping at least the background was worth it. Oh my goodness. So yeah, finally traveling. I'm traveling again, and the longest trip I've had in the last couple of years, well, Mexico and also Turkey, but I used to travel 90% of my life. And it's been wonderful to be at home, and it is so wonderful to be here in Europe, to be here in Italy again, to be here at the castle, and I'm very much looking forward to the changes that the next few weeks are going to bring. And so put on your seatbelt, kids, put up your seat back and tray table. The fucking rocket is taking off. The rocket of possibilities. Ooh, by the way, I just started a podcast that will be out in the next few weeks please look for that also, because it'll be a tune in, you know, and get a half an hour of inspiration, a little lightness, a little joy, and then move on with your life. And what if you, truly being you, beyond the need to judge you ever again, as the leader beyond insanity you truly are, that doesn't require followers, are the gift, the change, and the possibility this world requires. Thank you for being my beautiful friends. I look forward to seeing you soon in person someday. Bye-bye!